Absolutely. And talking about meeting customers, trying to test your assumptions, your hypothesis with the business model canvas, what would be your recommendation when you go outside of the building to meet those people? How should you speak with them, test your hypothesis?
When you're getting input from customers, it doesn't only mean that you're doing a sum of all the data. That is, it's just very easy to say, oh, I get it. I go outside, I take a spreadsheet, I add up all the things I have, and those are the features I do. Well, if that was the case, accountants would run startups, not artists. It turns out that going outside the building shouldn't be confused with adding up, input. It should be used to inform an artist's vision. You could come back and say, hey, this confirms what I thought. But you could equally come back and say, everybody says this is a horrible idea, and let me tell you why I'm still going to pursue it. Both are equally valid answers in the early days of a startup. Getting out of the building is not a vote or a focus group. It's to inform your vision. Right? And let me be a little more specific. It turns out if you're in an existing market is where customers could actually name the market. Hey, we're in the smartphone market. Those customers can do a pretty good job of telling you what features matter and what axis of performance or some competitive axis they would actually change carriers or vendors or buy a new product from someone else. That's pretty easy. And therefore, getting customer feedback in an existing market, you do, at your risk, kind of ignore it. But there are other places where something's completely new. It's never been invented before. The classic story is if Henry Ford would have asked people what they wanted, the answer would have been a faster horse. But truly, he actually understood something different, is that while they might have wanted a faster horse, what they really wanted was cheaper transportation that allowed them to go greater distances than a horse could do, and that cars in the United States in the early part of the 20th century were only for the rich. He had a much interesting insight that said, no, cars were the right thing. They don't want faster horses. They want $200 cars, which eventually they got the price down to. That's the type of insight you get from going out of the building when the market is new or doesn't exist.